Today's most renowned fashion and jewelry design houses weren't always hugely successful on a global scale. Instead, their stories frequently started out in the same unassuming manner, with a talented person simply following their passion and honing their craft. The tale of Cartier is possibly one of the best instances of this. Cartier is one of those recognizable luxury brands that appeals to people all over the world. What began as a small jewelry business has developed into a luxury brand that sells a variety of goods, including watches, perfumes, and leather goods. It doesn't matter if you wear the house's eau de parfum or own a love bracelet, you are familiar with the brand. Cartier is known for style, sophistication, and the height of luxury, but they didn't become known for these qualities overnight. This is the hidden story behind the French brand and how it became one of the most recognizable names in luxury. The story begins in the early 19th century. Louis-François Cartier was sent by his father, a gunpowder manufacturer, to study with jeweler and watchmaker Adolphe Picard. Picard's workshop was in an underprivileged and crowded area of Paris in the early 1840s. At the shop, Cartier was forced to toil alongside other young workers for 15 hours a day while they were being watched over by a foreman with a whip. Louis-François Cartier spent several years honing his love of watchmaking in his master's workshop. He then acquired the small shop on Rue Montague from his employer and started making changes to the company. The Cartier brand was founded at this exact point in history. As an apprentice, Louis-François had observed how difficult it was for his employer's company to achieve even small success. So he increased the variety of goods in the store to include unique jewelry and innovative fashion ideas in order to appeal to a wider range of customers. This helped the business grow, and by 1853, he opened a new shop on a chic Parisian street close to the Palais Royal and the Stock Exchange. The Empress Eugénie and Princess Mathilde, the Emperor Napoleon III's second cousins, later came across his shop and were inspired by what they saw, so this move proved to be extremely successful. Over the course of the following several years, Cartier made a sizable profit by selling hundreds of pieces of jewelry to the French aristocracy. But trouble came when the working-class citizens rose up in the 1848 Paris uprising to oppose the wealthy who had looted France for centuries. It made it extremely challenging for jewelers like Cartier to make a living. However, the company overcame the issues and barely emerged on the other side. Louis-François Cartier was unstoppable after that. He used the money made from buying and selling jewelry to pay for the acquisition of even better items. However, growth was only moderate for the following 20 years. At this point, his son, Alfred, had also started working there. It was always intended for Alfred to take over management of the shop. Compared to his father, Alfred had a much stronger sense of business and a desire to expand the company quickly. In the end, it would be Alfred's business savvy that would introduce the Cartier name to the royal families of Europe and beyond. In the 1860s, Alfred had an idea that can only be described as a historical stroke of genius, one that ultimately cemented Cartier's position as the top jeweler in Europe. Another uprising, known as the Paris Commune, occurred in the city's capital in 1870. A socialist revolution, the Commune saw the new authorities declare war on the aristocracy. The elite were running for their lives and looking for a way out, and due to the restrictions on bank access, they were unable to access their wealth and turned to selling their valuable assets. Most often, this meant their jewelry. Alfred Cartier seized the chance that had unexpectedly presented itself and gave the aristocrats who came through his door just cents on the dollar in exchange for their most valuable possessions. They gave away their best pieces in an effort to raise the funds necessary to escape the city's violence. With little time and money, Cartier quickly amassed one of the finest jewelry collections in France. Although the Commune was short-lived, by 1871 there was no longer any question about the future success of the Cartier company. France officially became a republic, and people could once more spend their money at will. Also, Alfred now had his massive collection. Alfred's successes paved the way for international expansion. The first quarter of the 20th century was a golden period for Cartier, during which it spectacularly established itself as a world-renowned luxury jewelry brand. In 1904, it received its first royal warrant as official purveyor of King Edward VII of England, who famously referred to Cartier as the jeweler of kings and the king of jewelers. In the following 20 years, Cartier rose to the top of the food chain status. In addition to requests for completed pieces, the brand was also getting an increasing number of requests for customized jewelry. Alfred's sons, Louis, Pierre, and Jacques, were in charge of the business's international expansion. Louis Cartier ran the Paris branch, which moved to the fashionable shopping street at the center of Paris, the Rue de la Paix, in 1899. The grandeur of this new location emphasized Cartier's historic shift from retailing to designing and manufacturing. Louis also created the renowned tank wristwatch in 1917, drawing inspiration from the tanks he had seen in action on the Western Front during the First World War. Customers loved the wristwatch right away. Jackie Kennedy, Princess Diana, and Yves Saint Laurent were just a few of the celebrities who were known to sport the tank, which went on to become one of the most coveted wristwatches of all time. In 1909, Alfred's other son, Pierre Cartier, founded the branch in New York City, and the following year his brother Jacques opened the store in London. The Cartier trademark was formally registered by 1910. As for Pierre Cartier, he made one of the most popular transactions of the century in 1917. At the time, pearls were among the most prized jewelry items, and some of the richest people in the world were purchasing Cartier pearls. As a result, Pierre had displayed what were thought to be the most expensive pearl necklaces in the world in his New York showroom. It was worth what would be the equivalent of 16 million pounds in today's money, with 128 pearls strung along its two strings. The Cartiers also traveled to Russia, which inspired them to create the à la Russe collection. Cartier received several orders from Emperor Nicholas II in 1907. The brand also received royal warrants from the royal courts of Spain and Portugal, in addition to those from King Edward VI and the Tsar. In the 1950s, society experienced rapid change, which had an effect on fashion, design, and architecture. But because of the brilliant design of the Cartier tank, the company's reputation was unaffected by the times. The tank proved why it is a timeless classic, and numerous famous people, including Muhammad Ali, Andy Warhol, Ingrid Bergman, and Clark Gable, wore it. The surviving family members made the decision to sell the company after Louis-François Cartier's grandson Pierre passed away in 1964. Cartier Paris was bought in 1972 by a group of financiers under the direction of Joseph Canouille. They also succeeded in buying Cartier London and Cartier New York in the years that followed, bringing the company's three divisions back together. Today, Cartier timepieces are still a hit, and the watches in the Cartier Tank collection continue to be iconic examples of luxury. The pinnacle of French luxury, the Cartier brand is still a renowned and respected name in the jewelry industry and beyond. The company now has more than 200 stores around the world and offers a wide range of goods beyond just jewelry. Today, this conglomerate of luxury goods firmly holds its place as one of the undisputed leaders and most recognizable brands in the luxury sector. Which of their pieces would you say is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Also, for more awesome videos like this, please subscribe to our channel and smash that notification button. We'll see you next time.